Zollner Ford Beatrice. Save thousands in finance charges. If your current pickup loan's 4, 5, 6% or more, trade in today and receive 0% for up to 66 months on a brand new 2025 Ford F-150 of your choice at Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday, December 5th for a special edition of Old School from 3 to 6 p.m. at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill. We're raising awareness and funds for the Nebraska Greats Foundation, and we'll have many former Husker greats in attendance to promote as well. That's Old School this Friday at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane, sponsored by Alpha Wealth Advisors.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert, driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of B.J. Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostreiter. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3 ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, welcome to this wonderful Wednesday. You know, let me ask you something.
Oh, this should be
Batman had Robin. Tonto had the Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger had Tonto. Turner Gill had Irving Fryer, Mike Rozier. I'm working on a theme here. Each one of these had someone, a ride or die.
Yeah.
A buddy, a partner. Meanwhile, my
AD has Nick.
I'm going to start calling you sometimes.
Nick has AD.
I'm going to start calling you sometimes.
Oh, come on.
Why didn't you ask me if I wanted anything to eat, man?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I did not even ask Sipple if he wanted anything to eat.
Sip says AD's, he goes, Nick called me and asked me if I wanted anything from the local establishment that I was speaking at this morning. We messaged back and forth at 5:53 this morning.
we were up texting.
And I was proud of you. You were like, you said, what in the world?
I was hoping for a little bit of a better reaction from you when I texted you out of nowhere at 5:50 this morning, because that's out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Not the fact that I texted you, but out of the fact that I texted you at 5:50 in the morning.
I about choked on my egg bite.
Oh, stop. Yeah, right. That's just because you need to slow yourself down. Take a breath. Take a breath. Chew your food 20 times before you swallow.
Your text was exactly at 5:50 a.m.
Here's the thing.
I said, look at you, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed swim.
The best part, here's the thing, AD. You were the first person that I texted this morning. My alarm went off at 5:45 a.m.
So not even 8 minutes after you got up.
It was less than 5 minutes after I woke up. Not even got up. I was still laying in bed.
I feel special.
I looked at the phone and I said, you know what? The first person that comes to my mind in the morning, maybe you like this, maybe you hate this, Aaron Davis.
You know what? That's a good feeling to have. I feel I'm top shelf.
Okay, good. That's what I strive to do.
I feel like top shelf right now. How'd the speaking go though, man?
It was great. Shout out to the Optimist Club. Had a great time with them this morning. Talked a lot of Husker athletics with them.
Sure.
Delicious breakfast at the place that shall not be named. And no free shout outs. I'm kidding. Shout out to our friends, not friends. Shout out to our almost friends, hopeful friends and stoppers. Shout out to
my man that ate up their food and cleaned the plates, brought doggy bags to the station. I'm not giving any free shout outs.
No, I did not. So what happened was I had a delicious omelet, and those types of cafes.
So good
there's so many options, right? And those cafes, the portion sizes are so large.
Do you feel sluggish right now a little bit?
I don't feel sluggish because
you spoke right after.
I spoke before.
Okay.
So I spoke and then I ate with the people. And it was a great time. Shout out to Randy and everybody with the Optimist Club. But anyway, it was a great time. And I sat down, I ate, and I ate the omelet. I had an all meat omelet. Or like a meat lover's omelet. I can't remember what it was specifically called.
Right now,
delicious. Had some hash browns, and then I was like, well, I got to get going because we got a show at 9:00. So I took the pancake to go. Well, here's what happened is I set the pancake in my to-go box out on the table out here. I get back out, and Sip is like, Nick, swim. Did you bring the pancake for me? Did you bring this for us?
For us.
And I said, you know what, Sip, if you want the pancake, you can have it. I said, there's no syrup in there. You'd have to grab some from the mill. And I said, there's butter in there. He's like, I don't need any. He ate a dry pancake this morning. Sip ate a dry pancake this morning. And then he goes, geez, Nick, thanks for the pancake.
I'm going to tell you something, Swim. I'm just wondering why the box had Sip's name on the box.
It didn't have Sip's name on the box.
I'm just curious.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
I was just asking.
It didn't have anybody's name on the box. It had my name on the box because I was planning to eat the pancake.
Well, I don't know, Nick. I think sometimes I just wish you would love me the way I deserve to be loved.
I do. I love you through my actions, and
Boy, that's abuse and malpractice with your actions.
Sometimes we don't all agree on the way love should be shown.
8661 said, pause.
Hey,
Brad from Ballin says, what's up, Brad? He goes, was Nick waking up or just getting home?
I can assure you that I was 100% just waking up. I was waking up 100%.
Yeah.
It's a weeknight, Brad. I don't go that crazy.
No, Nick, you're the most mature 24-year-old I ever met. Maybe besides my son, AD.
Almost 25.
AD was 24 at 14.
Yeah, I feel
you're that type of guy.
I feel trapped in like a 50-year-old's body. So, what? How are you going to twist this?
No, I'm going to say this. When I first met you, man, I thought you were at least 28, 29.
Well, I appreciate that.
Very mature guy. Nick, it is a big day today.
Trey out here trying to start rumors. He's like, sounds like Nick is slurring his words this morning. I bet you think so. It is a big day, though.
Was that apple juice or rum?
No, I tell you what, I do have an addiction, and it's our friends at the mill. This sugar cookie latte that they got going on.
I got to try that.
Is something you write home about.
Okay, there's a local establishment, speaking of coffee, that I didn't
friends or not friends?
They're not friends. So I'm not going to say, no free shout outs. I'm not going to say their name.
Not friends.
But I didn't realize they have one, Nick, right off of 27th in Yankee Hill.
Okay, I got to think where we're at here. I didn't
realize. I went there yesterday and worked a little bit.
Almost enemies.
Yeah, they're enemies. But I went there just to try it out. And I had some Zoom calls. One Zoom took forever to type in, and I was just sitting there. But nevertheless.
Yeah, you canceled on me last night.
I had to, man, because my business partner
should we bring that to the air?
Nick,
hey, I tried to have a business meeting with AD last night at 7 p.m. I got a text. Hey, Nick, I got to cancel. I got a more important business meeting to have. That's the text I got. Hey, my business partner works in California time.
No, I didn't say,
and he can only do it at this time, so I got to cancel.
Who
was scheduled first?
See.
I just wish I was loved.
Here's what it is. Hey, Swim. Hope your day was a great one. I'm gonna read it verbatim. Sorry, Bo, but I have to reschedule. My business partner had to reschedule our Zoom for this evening as he had something come up. He's 2 hours behind, so 6:30 p.m. works best for him. I'm around all weekend, and we'll make something happen if it works for you. Again, my apologies. No worries, man. Don't apologize. That's you. So now I'm the bad guy. So
I just had to bring it to air. I just air out the dirty laundry. Air it out. Because you know darn well if I was like, hey, AD, look, I can't make tonight's meeting. Oh, sure, shocker, Nick canceled. It's a problem when I do it. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. It was all good. No, we were going to be about business, and it was funny because I saw your name pop up on my text. And I was like, all right, this is either two things. One, it's an article that we're going to talk about tomorrow morning, or he's canceling. And sure enough, hey Nick, I got to reschedule. I said it's okay. I mean, it's okay. You're traveling today.
Yeah,
you're dipping out on the show early.
That was the biggest thing because I just felt because basically I'm trying to squeeze 5 days into 3, actually into 2.5, because like you said, I got a flight at 11:20, but I had so much going on. The 7 o'clock I was looking forward to just hanging out.
Yeah.
And discussing a little bit, but I had to change things up because we had some deadlines to hit. We're working with long story short, we're working with a company up in Canada.
Ooh, where at?
Gosh dang it. I think they're not in Toronto because I think they're in, it'll hit me. Anyway, it's a big move for the company.
Nice.
They're going to be doing a lot of things for us, and we had to button up some things before we hop on a call when I get to my hotel in St. Louis tonight. So there's a lot going on.
I mean, and to be fair, I mean, this is, business is business, and I'm not paying you to meet. So,
I would never charge you.
I appreciate that.
I would charge you. I would charge you in food.
Hey, Nick, you want to bring cheesesteak grills?
Yeah. No. Folks, it is signing day across the country. There will be surprises. There was already one, Nick, the gentleman, I forget his name, that flipped from Georgia to Vandy, the quarterback.
Is it official?
I don't know if it's official.
Okay.
But on his Twitter handle.
Yeah.
But again, today we'll find out.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Obviously the 5-star quarterback that you're talking about or referencing is Jared Curtis.
There you go.
Jared Curtis is a guy.
I almost said Curtis Blow.
Yeah, it's not him. Has been committed to Georgia for the last few months. Mm-hmm. But Vanderbilt's been kind of big on flipping him, and it's kind of funny if you read how they've really tried to build that relationship between Vanderbilt and Jared Curtis, the 5-star quarterback. Is Clark Lee, the head coach of Vandy, actually started to develop a relationship with Curtis's high school coach. Invited the high school coach to a couple of practices, things like that. Curtis happened to stumble along some of those practices and now there's mutual interest there, and it appears that Vanderbilt has maybe found their successor to Diego Pavia next year. But it's really fascinating there. Elsewhere in LSU, the number 1 overall recruit in the country, Lamar Brown, who was in Lane Kiffin's office on Sunday night when he got there, is delaying his signing.
What?
Because LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker might be getting the head coaching job at Tulane.
That is right, but I didn't put those two together.
No, so he's staying committed to LSU. There's been a couple of notable names that are delaying their signing until the late signing period, just because there's so much uncertainty right now. A lot of people with Penn State, that whole situation is going on. It is fascinating.
Okay, let's make me a promise, if possible.
I will make you a promise.
If it's possible, because news is news, you got to break it. If nothing is done by Friday when I get back, tomorrow night when I get back, we got to go in deep about Penn State.
Yeah,
Nick, it is. They obviously did not look at the Nebraska case study under Steve Peterson, that whole debacle. Nick, we didn't have a coach until January.
Yeah,
maybe text line. Let me know. I haven't looked that up yet. Let me know during the whole Steve Peterson when they hired Bill Callahan. When I know it was way after the season, like most are. But this thing was abysmal. And you look at Penn State, they might not sign anybody today.
Yeah, well, they're going to sign a couple.
Until it's official, I ain't believing nothing.
That's true. It's fascinating, though, just because, like, Kentucky the other day actually was getting commitments, but in between the Mark Stoops and before the Will Stein era. So it was funny there. Nebraska's gotten a couple of big wins today. Getting Danny Odom to sign on the dotted line, the 5-star defensive back, that's a big get. That was an up-and-down recruitment for the Huskers, and he's officially signed and officially in.
I know that's a big Addison Williams
that's
plus right there, too.
That's a big one. That's a big one for Nebraska. And so, without a defensive coordinator to once again have that signature on the dotted line, that's a guy that had some really notable Power 5 offers or Power 4 offers. So to get that on the dotted line is good. I did see this. I was doing some research last night, this morning and stuff. I was kind of getting ready for the day. And Nebraska, according to 24/7 Sports, their recruiting class this year is ranked 109th in the country. AD, so in 2009, they started tracking rankings in 1999, 24/7 Sports did. The lowest recruiting class ranking that Nebraska has ever had before this year came in 2009. 39th in the country was the lowest Nebraska's recruiting class has ever been ranked in the country. This year, 109th. We're talking about a dramatic difference. Now, you can't necessarily read you can't read into that too much. Nebraska's
very small recruiting class.
There's only going to be 10 guys that sign on the dotted line today. 10 after they had added the Australian kicker yesterday. But ultimately, that just goes to show. Now, 2027 is going to be high school guys, but 2026 is they're going to utilize the portal extensively this year. January is going to be a busy month, especially January 2nd till January 16th or so.
Just to let you guys know, just in case you don't know, January 2nd is when the portal opens. It closes on the 16th. So you're talking about a furious 14 days of movement. Nick, there's so many openings and closings. Dude, it's seriously like traffic in LA as far as the happenings going on the college coaching landscape. And like, again, I am just blown away at the Penn State situation. We'll talk more about that Friday. But I tell you what, I think at this point, Kraft and company are looking like they bless you. Bless you. Those are a triple header. Oh, bless you.
I'm good.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. They've got some serious issues going on in Not So Happy Valley right now as far as that goes. So bless you again.
Thank you.
So we'll talk more about that at 10 o'clock. Kind of run down the show. Bless you again. That's 6 sneezes right there, Nick. I'm telling you, man, you're letting it go, man. I love it. I love it. Sneezing feels great.
I'm allergic to something.
Why'd you look at me when you said that, dog?
Well, where am I supposed to look?
He goes, I'm allergic to something. You look at me like that.
No, I'm not. Stop. I'm making eye contact like a true professional.
I'm a professional.
Yeah.
We got a special guest at 9:30. I'm excited for our guest at 9:30. We'll talk some more football with this gentleman, former Husker, one of the best, in my opinion, in particular things he did at Nebraska. So we'll discuss that and what he's representing now and and what he's doing. Some of the things he's doing that's helping a lot of Huskers on all teams. In Nebraska, it's not just Huskers, but Nebraska athletes as far as that goes.
Here's before we get to break real quick. Unnamed texter, I want to answer this before we do take a timeout. They ask, is signing day really that important anymore with the portal? And I understand where you're coming from. What I do say is this: for it depends, I think, on the player. And the reason I say that is take TJ Lateef last year. Signing day, and we know that obviously just the December signing day is becoming the more popular one of the two. But I say that it's important simply because of bowl practices. Nebraska was able to utilize TJ Lateef in bowl practices last year that hopefully just speeds up and accelerates the development there. However, AD, we do have some breaking news. I just got sent this. So this comes from Pete Thamel as we continue to find landing spots for coaches. Pete Thamel on Twitter says Ohio State offensive coordinator Brian Hartline is expected to become the next head coach
Penn State
at South Florida.
Oh, wow.
Ohio State's play caller has built a reputation as one of the country's top developer of wide receivers. Brian Hartline, Ohio State offensive coordinator, heading to replace Alex Golesh at South Florida here after the season. So another one off the board for the Penn State Nittany Lions as Brian Hartline is going to be the next head coach at South Florida. We saw Will Stein become the next head coach at Kentucky. Colin Klein, who is Texas A&M's offensive coordinator, is now going to be the next head coach at Kansas State. Now that Chris Kleiman is retiring, and so the dominoes continue to fall in place as Penn State still searches for their next head coach.
I tell you what, man, Hartline, you talk about the way that he developed and recruited wide receivers. He's going to be able to recruit wide receivers out of his office down in Florida.
Out of Florida.
Oh my goodness,
right?
That's a heck of a hire.
Yeah,
for them right there, and also a heck of a loss for Ryan Day.
It is
off his staff too, man.
It is. Here's Chip Kelly's still available. Chip Kelly's available now if he wants to bring him back to Ohio State. Hey, come on back. So here's the guess. I mean, here's this. Some of the guys that Brian Hartline has recruited, he's been the top recruiter, the lead recruiter on these Ohio State recruits. Jeremiah Smith, JT Tuimoloau, Julian Fleming, Emeka Ibuka, Kyle McCord, Brandon Innes, Jackson Smith and Jigba, CJ Stroud, Aaron Nolan, Carnell Tate, Caleb Brown, Jamison Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. There's a lot more.
All those guys from the majority are in the pros.
All of those guys. If you're a wide receiver,
it's wide receiver you
down there. Yeah, it is right now. But you're a wide receiver looking for a landing spot, and you could be coached by the same coach that has developed Jeremiah Smith, Julian Fleming, Emeka Ibuka, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Carnell Tate, G. Scott Jr., Jamison Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr.
And then to be able to have those guys on speed dial.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a hire for them down in South Florida, man.
Isn't that wild?
That is just nuts.
Big.
It's literally this morning my head was spinning at all the different, coaching changes and who's going where. This guy's over here. This OC
Here's
here.
The deal. Jeremiah Smith's from Florida. Jeremiah Smith is from Florida. Carnell Tate, Bradenton, Florida, and IMG Academy. There's a lot of these guys that he's recruited. He's got some relationships and connections in the state of Florida. Watch out for South Florida in the future, man. Let's go.
Gosh.
But now Penn State, another domino falls off the board.
And you know what, Nick, the thing about it, I have nothing against Penn State whatsoever.
Absolutely
but
not.
I don't even feel sorry for him. I mean, you had this situation. How long now, Nick?
Oh, I mean, it's been a while. I mean, it was after, what was it, week 5? Around week 5 of the season.
Close to 2 months to get this thing taken care of.
Yeah, and now, like, here's the tough part. And I was talking to Jay about this on the phone call, on just a phone call. He and I were talking on the phone yesterday, and I was just saying, like, Jay, I was like, dude, here's the problem. Is like, if they go hire Terry Smith or they offer the job to Terry Smith, like, He knows he's not the number one option. He knows that he wasn't their number one choice. He knows that he wasn't the number 3 choice. Anybody that gets offered that job knows, okay, yeah, you know what? I was pretty far down on the totem pole.
Yeah.
Before they had to offer me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't mean you don't take it, right? Because it's an opportunity of a lifetime, especially if you're a guy like Terry Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But do you feel good about Brian Dable? Do you feel good about? I mean, doesn't seem like Joe Brady's name has continued to carry the weight. What direction do you go?
Insightful dude. This is interesting too. Does he still coach for Ohio State? The playoffs?
Yes,
could be big if he doesn't.
Yeah, he will.
He still will, being an OC and not a head coach. But there was another one on there as well that I wanted to get to as well that asked. Yeah, that was insightful. That was you as well. Is Penn State possibly waiting for an NFL coach? They might not have a choice by the way things are going right now. They just may not. I mean, because this thing has been. I'm just going to say from the outside looking in, it looks like it was horribly handled with no contingency plans. Or Nick, what about this? Maybe Penn State is not who Penn State thinks they are to the outside world outside of Happy Valley.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're looking at your own shine like, man, we look good. Maybe to you, but maybe there's some coaches out there just like, you know what? Nah, and Franklin is very well respected.
Yeah,
around the country amongst other coaches.
And let me tell you this right now: there's one guy that also has a lot of pull in college football.
Sexton,
Jimmy Sexton. That is right.
People are trying to pin it on him like he's personally trying to sabotage Penn State.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Hey, he's going. Hey, Pat Kraft, you guys fired my client. Good luck getting a head coach that's worth something. Because I represent all of them.
He's going like this. Watch this.
Yeah, I represent all of them.
Watch this. You know why, Nick? You can make a lot of money. Make a lot of money. Jimmy Sexton, who knows what's going on, but we know what isn't going on is they ain't got a coach yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes down. When we come back, we got our awesome distinguished guest. It's The Drive. It's Wednesday. We'll be back.
Staying profitable means finding smarter, more efficient ways to farm. Those decisions turn hard work into something worth passing down. Join us at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln for the Nebraska Ag Expo on December 9th through 11th, where agriculture meets innovation. From big iron and livestock production to the latest in ag tech and soil health, discover the solutions that can help you do more with less and protect your legacy for generations to come. Sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle. Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in December. Try one of their delicious breakfast sandwiches or grilled breakfast burritos. Don't forget to snag a gift card for stocking stuffers and bring your family in from out of town. With 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward, Bagels and Joe.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Carper for O Street Carpet. For Christmas, we're doing everything possible to help you spruce up your home without making a dent in your holiday budget. If you need new wood flooring, new carpet, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you want to shop at O Street Carpet. We offer 12-month same-as-cash financing, Lincoln's best selection in stock, free in-home measuring, and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We have a cold and blustery day on tap here for our Wednesday. We'll see a high of 33 early on the day, steady to falling temperatures here through the rest of today. Slight chance for a few flurries and, a little on the blustery side too. In fact, we're going to drop all the way down to 2 below zero for a low tonight and only 24 for a high tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back, and this segment is brought to you by our good friend Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. He's been a well-respected rep since 1999, can help protect your home, your family, your vehicle, even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. Folks, it is a treat and a privilege and a blessing to have these 2 gentlemen here. One is my former Husker big brother. He was a Husker before I was a Husker. Gothenburg, great. Played under the great coach Novacek. Novacek out of Gothenburg. The Swedes are in the house. Monty Kratchison. Monty, and this is not me, just blowing smoke, MK. Coach Brown has said this.
I know where this is going.
One of the best blockers and some of the softest hands. And you were there, replaced, you spelled Todd Milliken after Todd was gone, correct?
Yeah.
And young Will Washington, you taught the young pup with the James Worthy goggles when he got here from Tyler, Texas. Bando,
love it. Yeah.
You're the running buddy.
He was my mentor. Bando,
exactly.
Bando was my mentor. Of course, Todd Milliken, and you know how it was, AD. In those days, there was this stepping stone sort
each
of
one
thing.
teach one,
and you get to be a sophomore. You're just hoping maybe you can get in the game, late during some of those blowouts, and you do. And then your junior year, you kind of get in the mix. Then your senior year, then it's your role and your responsibility to teach those young guys. And I sent out a picture just on the anniversary of Chris Garrett's death, and I sent out one of my favorite pictures of Will and Chris Garrett, myself, down at that Fiesta Bowl in 1990, and my guys, and you experienced
absolutely,
it, and the guy sitting next to me has experienced it too. When you are part of something like that, it stays with you the entire life.
For your life, those are lifelong relationships.
So Monty, were you unlike or alike AD, where you got to enjoy the hot dog stand after in the fourth quarter or so of every game?
He was actually playing. That's what I was saying. No, he was done. My senior year, he was done in the fourth quarter.
Okay,
that was warm-up time.
That's who you took over for.
That was game time. I didn't warm up until about 4 minutes left in the game.
AD, baby.
I'm gonna get out, put this hot dog down.
Nick, one of my claims to fame, Nick, is the fact that I got a lot out of my athletic ability. And I was able, I still to this day will say that I don't even know if this is arguable. I might have been the slowest tight end to ever start at Nebraska.
Interesting.
Well, no, it's not really interesting. Coach Brown talks about my $1 million hands, my 10-cent feet.
Hey, it's better have.
You're too hard on yourself.
No, but on the show yesterday we were talking about this. Jerry Godowski was my quarterback senior year. Steve Taylor, obviously before that. And I said, I roomed with Jerry on the road, and that's a smart move, right? You room with the quarterback, the guy can throw you the ball. That's just smart. So Jerry was a smart guy, but he never figured out that I could run about top end about 4.9. So I had about three times during my senior year where he just went over my outstretched arms. I'm like, Jerry, we've been playing together for 4 years. Have you not figured out that I'm slow? Can you not give me a little?
Underthrow it a little
bit.
Can
you slow that down just a little bit? But anyway, no, it was great. I talked to Jerry Godowski for 25 minutes on the way in. From
How's
Omaha
Jerry doing,
today.
man?
He is now the associate athletic director at Midland University.
Oh, wow. Good for him. Back home.
He and Sammy moved back to Nebraska last year, and love having him around. Get to see him every so often. And he said to tell all the guys hi. He doesn't get away because he's too busy.
Absolutely.
He's got to manage Jamrog, and that's a full-time job in itself.
I can only imagine those guys together.
So, hey, let me introduce the guy to my right, because one of my best friends. And
I think we should focus on Monty, the best man.
I'm done. I'm uncomfortable. I have now become uncomfortable with that situation. So now we're going to
shift. A quick segue.
enough about me. Let's talk about Brett.
No, let's not talk about Brett.
One of my best friends, my brother, Brett Wetton, who is the executive director of Nebraska Greats Foundation, is the reason why we're here. And Brett's a Geneva boy, UNK guy, an offensive lineman, thrower. Anyway, I'm biased. One of my best friends, one of the smartest, best businessmen that I know, and he is here. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Nebraska Greats because actually, I'm selfishly I love spending time with him.
Well, look, guys, we really appreciate being here today, right? Nebraska Greats Foundation. There are a lot of foundations out there where you can put your money, but the Nebraska Greats Foundation, we specifically focus on current and former letter winners from any of the universities or colleges here in the state of Nebraska. And guess what happens? Life happens, right? You find out that you have cancer, right? You find out that you are losing your insurance. You lost your job. You're going to have moments in your life where you may need some help. Well, guess what? That's what we do. And we've spent, I don't know, Monty, we've been doing this for 5 or 6 years.
You and I have been, yes.
Foundation's been around for about 14 years, started by Jerry Murtaugh, right? And what we do is we come on shows like this, we put on events, and we raise money to give it away to those folks that need it. And I know Monty's going to talk a little bit of our recipients here, but it's that time of year where people may be saying, hey, your accountant say, hey, you may need to give some money to a charity. You may be getting together with former teammates, and you're going to find out AD that somebody's really struggling, but it has too much pride to say, hey, I need some help. And you also may have an opportunity to be on social media where you can help us share the message and get it out there. Help us with branding.
Brett, first of all, man, your radio voice is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
good
this
gosh.
is great.
I thought you're like a Southern preacher gospel guy. I was like, man, good gosh, thought it was God.
Amen, brother.
Amen,
brother. Can I get a witness?
What the whole genesis of this organization, you think about names like Andre Franklin and Dave Hum, two Husker brothers that are no longer with us. Franklin passed away, of course, in 2006 from heart disease, and Hum had, multiple sclerosis. And there's a number. I'm not going to, like I said, I want you guys to expound on this. I know for a fact, though, at the events that I've golfed at with you guys and so generously asked me to come out there, I've had a blast. But when you think about, and the one that stands out to me the most, and I thought about this coming in, Nick, this morning, and I literally was in prayer this morning. I just got emotional because Larry Florence is no longer with us.
Yeah.
And
that's a tough one.
That one was tough. That one was tough because that's still very recent.
Yep.
And the way that you guys stepped in and helped him out, because every day. Yeah, you guys go ahead.
No,
it's a tough deal.
Listen, this is exactly why we do what we do, and there isn't a time that I don't there isn't a time that I talk about our recipients and our people where I don't get emotional as well, because there are people that, you know, we are so blessed to do what we do, but there are people out there that have gone through some really tough times, and you know, bad things happen to really, really good people. Some of it is their own doing. You know, bad things happen because of their own doing, but there's a lot of people out there that need some help. And there's that whole pride issue where they do not want to ask for help. And AD and Brett and I, Nick, have known some of these people, and our referral base is just what he said. We're like, hey, have you talked to so-and-so lately? He's not doing real well. And you go through that list, and oh, by the way, you know, our list, we've helped over 70 recipients, given away over $2 million. And it's a very simple sort of a process where, you know, you ask for help. We have a vetting process in place, a medical. Dr. Mike Peaks goes through a lot of those medical records. We've got other doctors that help us with that, because we are not in the medical business, right? We don't go out and know how appropriate this help is.
And we have a responsibility when somebody gives money to organization that we're spending it appropriately,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And so we vet them that way. And then also there has to be a financial need. You know, we don't have a whole bunch of people coming to us with their hands out.
Absolutely.
A lot of times they have a financial need where they're just in a tough spot. And the great thing about what we do is there's grants that we approve for $1,000, and it means the world to people, you know, depending on where they're at. And then, you know what, I'll talk about a couple recipients later on that have long-term issues, and there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that they need that they just, it's just overwhelming. And so, you know, we feel really good about where we're at. This organization, AD, you mentioned it, you know, 14 years, but we've changed a lot in the last, I would say the last 3 to 4 years, we've changed a lot. Even in the last year, we've restructured a whole lot of things to make it better and more efficient and easier, to make this happen.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. Once again, we're joined by Monty and Brett from the Nebraska Greats Foundation. We're going to be out at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. in partnership with you guys from the Nebraska Greats Foundation. We invite everybody, even if you're just interested in learning more about it, come talk to them and come hang out with us this Friday. I wanted to ask you guys, because the pride thing is such a big piece of it, and in the few years that you guys have been working together on this, have you noticed or recognized that maybe the recipients or the folks in need are maybe more willing to say, hey, have you, as this is becoming more popular and more widely known, or is it still because AD and I talk about it every day almost, of like, check on the people closest to you, because you never know, right? And so with that, are you guys recognizing that, yeah, you know what, it's becoming easier for somebody to step forward, or is it each situation is their own unique situation?
I mean, Nick, it's a great question. And I would say that we're always going to be sitting there as a board saying, hey, are we doing our best to get the brand, to get the word out to everybody possible, right?
Absolutely.
Social media, through friends, through events like this, which we're very grateful that you guys are having us on. We're always going to focus on that. I do believe our process for the applicants is obviously improved as we've gotten better at that. I think secondly, so many of the folks that we help are now releasing their names to go on shows like this. And Mike's going to talk about a couple of recipients that once people hear, maybe it was, you know, some drug or alcohol abuse, or maybe it was, hey, I just needed a bed. Like when he talks about Tesla, which I can't talk about very much because I'll start crying. I'm a big tough guy, but that one is so hard. She wanted a bed to do rehab with her daughter. That's all she asked for. And that's when I first started 6 years ago. So just, I hope I'm answering your question here, but I think we're always going to be shouting to the mountaintops. Like Will Compton, you know, this is probably about 6 months ago, was talking about one of his teammates. And we're like, Will, baby, come talk to us, baby. Cause we would have helped, we would have helped that person.
It's almost like the realization of, oh, they're not alone. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Like there's other people that are going through maybe not the identical situation that I am, but very similar situations.
I'm going to trumpet a little bit of you know, talk about our marketing, and you know, there's a lot of bad stuff about social media, but social media has really helped us to get the word out. We've really, you know, kind of blew up all of our vendors and started over again and decided, hey, what are we going to do that we can best get that word out there? And our social media team has done an incredible job. Our marketing team, our staff has done a great job, and we're pretty short staff. We've got, you know, 2 full-time people, a couple part-time people, and to your point of getting that word out there has really helped that piece of it. But one of the things that we've noticed recently is that, you know, when you have a website, and I am going to make sure to mention that, Nebraska Great Foundation.org.
It's also scrolling on the bottom ticker if you're watching our video stream.
That's impressive, Nick. That's impressive.
But it's a technology, man. Dang it, I love technology.
I'm going to take your word on that, Nick.
It even says your guys' names up there. Look at that. All it took was a little bit
I
of
can't read or
keyboard.
write, so that sounds great.
No. Anyway, sorry to cut you off, Monty.
No, that makes me laugh. Go on that website and look at what we do, our mission, again, medical and financial needs. What are some of those? Who are some of those people we help? Because as I mentioned yesterday on the show, there are people that we have helped that you will be shocked to hear, because you know those people and you're like, I never even knew that. You know, there's a few of us, especially with you, if you're a huge market in the Lincoln area, that are especially close to our heart. Brett mentioned, Tesla Davis. Remember, this is not a Husker Greats Foundation. It's Nebraska Greats Foundation. And it is for, obviously, a lot of the notoriety comes from University of Nebraska athletes, but, Wayne State, Peru State, UNK, Chadron, all Concordia, all of those colleges, we represent those athletes. And Tesla Davis, as he mentioned, was someone that we were with for years and years through her ALS, which is one of the most horrible diseases in the world. And so with Tesla's situation, we knew when we accepted her grant or we gave her grant, we knew what the end result was going to be. Yeah. Larry Florence, we knew what that diagnosis was, but the only thing that we could do was make things just a little bit better during that time period. And so, but those are sad stories. But then you have the other things. Kevin Leitner. Kevin Leitner, one of the offensive linemen that was one of my teammates, several years older, but Kevin Leitner has had a great life coaching college football for years and years. He was coaching over in Japan, contracted COVID, came back to the United States,
Severe.
and his life was in danger.
Almost didn't make it.
Yeah, and he was in the ICU for months and months. And so, this is one of those situations where he wasn't destitute, but his insurance could not keep up with what was, and so we stepped in and helped him. And there's some tremendous stories like that have some really good endings. Again, I'll go down the list.
Please.
Paul Castle, fullback from Lincoln Pius.
Yep.
Our boy Jay Sims, we stepped in. He was going through some stuff. Anthony Steele, the only Nebraska player to ever sing the national anthem before a Husker football game.
Wow.
In the 70s. That
quick
that's
funny story about him. At his, God rest his soul, he left us, Monty, 8 years ago?
Boy,
Anthony?
I lose track.
Maybe longer
Yes,
than that.
I think so.
But Coach Osborne used to always call me Anthony Steels because our noses, we had those both prominent noses.
You look like you could be brother.
Yes.
Honestly,
He would say, Anthony, how are you? I'm like, Coach, it's AD.
But I'm good.
Go ahead, Monty.
but some of those guys that provided incredible memories for Nebraska fans that going through some stuff. We got some Nebraska basketball players that we've helped. Bernard Day, we've helped over that time. You mentioned Larry Florence already.
That's a hard one, man.
Anton Gill, Evan Taylor. There's just a lot of guys that we've helped that they're on the other side of it now. And to Brett's point, they had said, it's okay. You can use our name. You talk about it, and I will tell the story about those things and that you did for us. That's what we really like. Now, the other side of this is this, and we've revamped a lot of our marketing, our website, our structure, our donor base, all those things that you need to do for an organization. And Brett's been a huge part of that as president. But one of the things that we're really proud of is that 2025 has been a record-breaking year.
That's awesome.
We've given away more grants to more people and given away more money this year than ever before. What's that take? That takes money to do that. And we are a very efficient organization. We don't write a check to the recipient. We pay off the businesses and the medical companies, the doctors, the whoever we're doing. There isn't any of this. We take a lot of pride in that. There's certain bylaws that a 501(c)(3) has to follow. We've tightened up those structures, so we feel really good about that. And that's why we're here, because we want people to know about those things.
For the common man who's going, okay, what does all that mean? Is that essentially where that money's going then? For the folks that donate, where that money's going.
Yes. So you have a 990 filing, not to get too technical, that you file with IRS, and people can go and look at your 990, and they sit there and say, okay, if you're given $100, how much of that's actually spent on the recipients versus the overhead?
Yes.
So you always want to measure those things out. We're really dialed into all that, because we all give money to the foundation too, right? We want to make sure it gets spent properly. And look, guys, at the end of the day, like I always say this, we do this in athletics. Like, look, I look back at my football and track career, like, did I do my best? Right. And I look at this and I say in my life, okay, if some money or spreading something on social media or talking to a teammate that's struggling, it's like, look, when I have that life review, which, trust me, I'm going to have a life review, like, Mr. Wedden, you please come in, and I'll be like, with all due respect, have a seat. I know we're going to be looking at those bums and say, hey, did I do something? Did I recognize when somebody was suffering? Yeah. And we've all suffered in things. I don't care who you are, right? And did you help? And it doesn't have to be money, but did you help? And I hope when that review comes, because I just learned last week that I'm actually going to die at some point in my life, right? That I'm going to be asked that question. And it's going to happen.
I thought that was
maybe
going to take a serious note for a moment. And you were like, I learned last week.
Maybe not for money, or my friend Anthony sitting to my right here. But I know I'm going to be answered that. I'm going to have to answer that question. And I feel like, whether you're part of the organization or you're helping, I think it's a good way to maybe help answer that question.
AD, I definitely want to bring them back. We have to take a break because the top of the hour is approaching. But let's bring them back, close out the 9 o'clock hour with Brant Monty.
Folks, we'll be right back. Stick around, because we want to give you some information to go to where you can go visit the site. Also, some closing remarks from them before the top of the hour. We'll be right back. It's The Drive.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at HamiltonIsBusiness.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join Aaron Davis and I next Monday from 9 to 11 a.m. as we broadcast The Drive live from the Lincoln Children's Museum. The museum is getting ready to unveil a brand new exhibit for children 8 to 12 years old on Saturday, December 13th, but we give you a sneak peek on Monday from 9 to 11 a.m. as we broadcast The Drive live from the Lincoln Children's Museum in downtown Lincoln.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
The 2026 Love Nebraska schedule is here. Season 2 features 10 opportunities to catch your home team in Nebraska, with 9 at Baxter Arena and 1 at the Heartland Events Center in Grand Island. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes, like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. Check out the full schedule by visiting lovneb.com/schedule.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team, or check us out at CoppellCars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Hey guys, Nick Stannard here. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday, December 5th for a special edition of Old School from 3 to 6 p.m. at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill. We're raising awareness and funds for the Nebraska Greats Foundation, and we'll have many former Husker greats in attendance to promote as well. That's Old School this Friday at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane, sponsored by Alpha Wealth Advisors.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back. We're going to hop right back in with Monty and Brent here. Monty, Brent, go ahead.
No, I
I'm gonna hop back in.
I want to
You
thank
jump in.
you guys. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank the Ticket for doing what you have done. You know, we're looking forward to Friday, that 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, you know, kind of an FAC sort of thing. I mean, we've got to put up with Jay Foreman. That's really tough. But
those linebackers.
those guys. But Liquid Assets, we're going to be down there. They're doing a remote broadcast, and we're going to have a lot of former Huskers. We're gonna have a lot of people there, just kind of as a meet and greet. Come in, have some wings, have a cocktail, whatever you want to do, and meet some of the people. We're looking forward to that. But I wanted to mention, you know, something I like to talk about, things we're really proud of, and one of the things that the people around Lincoln, your listeners might know the name Budge Porter. And Budge Porter in 1976 was paralyzed at a spring football practice. Had an incredible collision with IM hip, and was paralyzed, was paraplegic in 1976. Budge Porter, from that point on, has lived an incredible life. Married, kids, successful stockbroker, all those different things that he has done. And I would encourage anybody to Google AI, whatever you want to, the Budge Porter story. But anyway, his insurance, as he's lived through life, has changed, has adjusted as it always has. And I know Coach Osborne I just talked to Coach, was able to spend about an hour and a half with him last week. And we talked about Budge, and Coach raised some money for him to help him when his insurance was struggling. Well, Budge is now, in the latter stages of his life, and Budge is now a recipient for us.
That's awesome.
And he is, again, inspirational. He's a warrior. He's a guy for 50 years has been a paraplegic and has done things that I wish I could do. Right. And so anyway, he's at the point in his life where he needs some home health care. He needs, repairs on a lift, repairs on his van, some things like that. And we're going to help take care of that. And that's expensive, and we don't care. We just don't care. He's earned that right. And it's very cool for me to go to Coach Osborne and go to Frank Solich and go to a lot of those people that are legends of Nebraska and say, hey, we're going to be able to help Budge.
Right.
That's cool.
I'm going to say this real quick. Just that story alone, it shows you, and Brett, you were mentioning this, bro. You want to make sure, regardless of how old you are, whatever, if there's someone suffering, what can I do to help? What can I do to help mitigate, to alleviate, if you would, some of the stress they're going through, some of the trouble? And that story you just shared with Coach Osborne there, as we all know, and you, Nick, you know this as well, but particularly Monty, as former guys, thousands of stories we've not even heard of.
Absolutely.
And I've shared this before on air. We didn't have a church for my dad's funeral 4 years ago last Friday because our church was my dad's church was too small. Coach makes a call. Yeah. Everything taken care of. And what he did for Budge and so many others, Coach Solich. Brett, go ahead, my man.
No, I was just going to say, I'd like to build on what Monty's saying. One, guys, we're so grateful for the time here today. I also want to give a shout out to Alpha Wealth Advisors that's sponsoring our event. Mike Osdick, got to give him some love. And at the end of the day, man, we're Nebraskans. Yeah. And I've had the ability to get to know Coach Rule and practice and a lot of the staff guys, and he talks about this all the time. We're a bunch of blue collar folks, and we take care of each other.
Right.
So how can we take care of each other this year? We'd love to help, and we're just very, very grateful for all this time that you guys have given us to talk about the Nebraska Greats Foundation.
You guys, this is, and I mean this for Nick. I'm sure I can speak for my teammate.
Oh yeah.
Anytime, I mean that. Both you guys just say, hey, we got this coming up, or we'd like to get this announced. 9 to 11 weekdays. Oh, that's nice. This is open. So you just let us know. I don't care if it's the 100%. Morning of, just call us.
And here's the deal. You know what's going to happen? We're going to laugh and we're going to probably cry.
Yep.
Well, do you hear this? This is all we have to deal with.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Every
Anthony, man.
I
He's
got
just
the
killing
black
me.
Clark Griswold
as
my
teammate
over here,
crying every day.
Yep. All right, the drive with Anthony and Nick. Here we go. NebraskaGreatsFoundation.org. What can they learn if they go to that website?
They'll learn all about our mission. They'll learn about the people we've helped. They'll learn about our schools and how we are connected to them. And there is a big fat donate button on there.
Yes.
And you hit that, and we will take $5, $50, $500, $500,000.
It's all tax deductible.
We will
Yep.
take it.
Yeah.
It's tax deductible, and
Yeah.
we will use that money to help people.
There you go.
Brothers, love you both. Appreciate you. We're
Love
going to
you
take
too.
a quick break. We'll be back before I duck out to the airport. Nick's face. See what he does me all. Oh,
I didn't even say anything.
Guess this guy's leaving the show early today.
Guess so. Your words, not mine.
He looked relieved to me.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in December. Try one of their delicious breakfast sandwiches or grilled breakfast burritos. Don't forget to snag a gift card for stocking stuffers and bring your family in from out of town. With 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward, Bagels and Joe. All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We have a cold and blustery day on tap here for our Wednesday. We'll see a high of 33 early on the day. Steady to falling temperatures here through the rest of today. Slight chance for a few flurries and, a little on the blustery side too. In fact, we're going to drop all the way down to 2 below zero for a low tonight and only 24 for a high tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainer.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Lafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we're back. Man, we cannot thank Brett and Monty enough, the Nebraska Greats Foundation. I just can't say enough about them. Again, it's nebraskagreatsfoundation.org, nebraskagreatsfoundation.org. They've done so much for so many in this state of Nebraska. It's just mind-blowing. And as Brent said, man, like I said, at the end of the day, who have I helped? Who can I help? And Nick, all due serious, man, with Larry, he was just such a good dude. And to know for the last 14 years of his life, man, he was suffering, but yet still went to the gym, still worked out, still posted, still fought through it as long as he could. So again, and they were very instrumental in helping him live as comfortably as he possibly could in a very uncomfortable situation. So big shout out to those guys as well. We'll have them back on for sure. Swim, it's signing day. And we'll talk about, I'm sure you guys will talk about volleyball later today or tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
The number of people on there, Nick will share that with you. And big shout out to the volleyball team, Coach Kay, and just they just dominated. I'll let you get more in depth. I don't want to cheapen it by just blazing through. I know you'll go through that more in depth either today or tomorrow sometime. But Nick, it is signing day. It is a day to where you get some relief. I've said, you mentioned it's Nebraska's one of their smallest recruiting class, but we know they're going to go heavy and rightfully so into the portal. What's your initial thoughts just so far on signing day for Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty low drama, and I think that's exactly what you kind of hope for. I remember the days, even especially towards the back end of I would say more so Mike Riley's tenure and then the front end of Scott Frost's tenure.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how drama-filled days would be. And this was really before the transfer portal became as popular and as well-known as it is now. But, I mean, I remember the days, and this is one of my favorite stories of just the last 10 years in recruiting. AD, does the name Javonte Jean-Baptiste ring a bell at all to you?
Yes.
I mean, just the stories that we would hear from that side of things, to where this Javonte was an outside linebacker who was initially, it felt like a lock to Nebraska, and it was on signing day, and you felt like Nebraska was going to win out against Ohio State. You knew that it was Nebraska versus Ohio State for him. And actually on the first day of signing day, it was Nebraska was going to be the team that got his services, if you will. And then school where he was from ended up getting canceled because of a snow day. So it delayed his signing day ceremony. Ohio State took advantage of that, and he ended up signing with Ohio State later in the cycle. And so it's just like those types of things. There would be so much drama that, in 10 years ago with flips and like, who are some flip targets? The diehard Husker fans will remember the back and forth recruitment of a wide receiver that ended up going to Washington State and Jameer Calvin. I mean, those are two right there that instantly pop into my mind as just signing day drama. And really nowadays it seems pretty low drama. There's not a whole lot of flip targets. Maybe the biggest one was a couple of days before signing day back in 2023 when Dylan Raiola was flipped from Georgia to Nebraska. But
it was about this time last year. I'm sorry, 2 years ago when that whole thing kind of just came to fruition.
And so ultimately, when it's all said and done, is in Nebraska, you never complain about not having surprises. You never complain about not having surprises. You just the two biggest ones for today. Obviously, you like to get your in-state talent. As they have Jace Reynolds, who's already locked and loaded and ready to go. He's signed and sent it in. But really, getting the big ones like Danny Odom, the 5-star defensive back, and then also Luke Sorensen, the 4-star tight end. You beat out some really good programs for those two guys, and so those are some bright spots in that class.
The class was always going to be small. We knew that coming in. Rankings were capped because of its limited size, but if you want to go to the rankings, 109th, as you mentioned, expected those 10 players. Quarterback 0, running back Jamal Rule is one that could, depending on what Emmett does, and regardless of what Emmett does, it's a good back to have back there. With Jamal Rule. Wide receiver, there was 2, Nayland Scott, who, looking up, Nick, he is one of the most overlooked, I think, as far as his recruiting class. He was a 4-star talent, barely played his senior year due to injury that he had, played only 3 games. But flashed some major playmaking ability. I think he's one of the hidden gems. From one of the online, somebody said if Scott had played a full senior season, he might have been the headliner of this class, which most likely he would have been. And you also then receivers, Larry Miles was the other highly talented recruit. Offensive line, Mpuma.
Yes.
Mpuma.
Claude
Mpuma. Offensive line, of course, Ainsworth and Waterman also join as the offensive line. 1 tight end, Luke Sorensen, you mentioned. 0 from the defensive line. These zeros, I'm just kind of put a disclaimer there. Some of those, Nick, in my opinion, are going to be filled in this transfer portal as we get some guys signed into those areas. But linebacker, Jace Reynolds. Cornerback, of course, you mentioned the highly touted 5-star recruit, Danny Odom, who turned down the likes of also Ohio State, Michigan, who tried to flip him late and probably still trying to talk to him before he puts his name down on the paper as far as that goes. It's the way it happens. And obviously, how do you say Michael's last name? Sarkisi's?
I haven't gotten an official pronunciation on it yet, so I don't want to butcher it.
We're just going to say Michael S.
Yeah, the Australian kicker.
Yeah, the Australian kicker.
He has not. It's a similar story to Archie Wilson, where he hasn't visited Nebraska. So once again, Mike Eckler dips into Australia, gets the second specialist from Australia, and gets him to commit without even visiting Nebraska. And so obviously it's tough to do so when you're living in Australia and you just can't take a weekend jaunt when you got to fly 2 days worth of time to home, but or to Nebraska and then back home. You're taking 4 days of travel time essentially there. So it doesn't make sense, but you turn on the TV and that's where it's important for Nebraska. And they did an interview with him earlier today regarding, why Nebraska and what was appeasing to him. He said he turned on the TV. He said with Archie there, we have Nebraska football on TV here in Australia. And he said, look, you turn on the TV, you see the fan base, you see what it's like to play there. And it's hard not to want to go there when you have that opportunity. And so part of that is really good for Nebraska. It's also interesting because this is now, once again, the second time that Mike Eckler in less than a calendar year has dipped into that area and into Australia. And while I remember talking to Coach Eckler a couple of months ago, asking him the story about Archie Wilson. And Archie's actually a guy that was committed to him or was planning to, he was trying to get to go to Tennessee with him when Coach Eckler was there. So then when he took the Nebraska job, he reached out to Archie and was like, hey, let's change the plans to Nebraska. And so it was a really cool thing there. And second time that Eckler has been able to dip into Australia.
Do you know the famous song from Australia, Nick, that we sing here?
Maybe.
Just think, maybe
I don't know what one is it. What are you thinking?
A
Vegemite sandwich?
Yes,
I do know that song.
I come from the land down under. Yes, it's good to have Mike here.
Don't you hear that thunder? You better run. You better take cover.
I'm proud of you, man.
Of course, I know that song.
I love it. Well, Nebraska went more than just Australia. Man, you really blew me away with that, Nick. I'm highly impressed, brother.
Okay, good.
I'm impressed.
It's easy to impress you, I guess.
Nebraska went more than just Australia. They recruited out of Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, California, Illinois, Arizona, of course, Australia. North Carolina went from Nebraska as well. Nick, I'm like I said, it's a small class. We knew that going in. It was going to be that way. But some names to watch, some long shots. But Devin Jackson was a safety we were recruiting pretty hard. He's an Oregon commit, pretty solid Oregon commit. Took his 4th visit to Lincoln, though, last weekend. He was in town. His teammates also of Danny Odom.
Yeah.
So who knows, but nothing. I don't see anything switching there.
It is not. He posted a photo yesterday of him in Oregon and stuff in there. And so it appears that that's going to be a pretty firm commitment there. So that's but that's similar to what I just kind of talked about before, where there's low drama. The same way that Nebraska hasn't necessarily lost recruits on signing day. They usually have their class pretty locked up before signing day. In that same vein, in that same sentiment, they haven't really tried to poach or been able to really try to sway guys away on signing day. I also wonder how much of that is still a thing going forward. Like, I feel like nowadays with the NIL agreements and with contracts, and we know that while you're on visits and while you're on official visits, that those conversations are had. Like, they're not shy about that. Coaches are, and staffs across the country, to where, hey, when you come in for an official visit, that when you meet with the coaches, that is part of the conversation. And sometimes you sign those on site. And so those are things that if I am looking around to Nebraska and I'm committed to Oregon or whatever, I need to sign that before I sign the letter of intent.
And you know what, Nick, hopefully this thing is dying. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a dinosaur. I am a dinosaur from old school. I never did like all these stupid 8 hats up there and you're playing.
Oh, you're out on the.
I think it's stupid.
Do you like the fake outs?
No, I hate that stuff. Where are you going to school at? I think that's
Chuck the hat off to the side.
And then not only that, if you sign to that school, if I've already got some collectives going to you, you better not bring it. You can't wear another radio station T-shirt in here, man.
It was funny. There was a story a couple of years or last year, I believe, during signing day, and it was that the guy essentially, I can't remember who it was, and I shouldn't even tell the story since I don't remember who it was, but essentially he signed multiple NIL agreements and just never signed the letter of intent to some schools. So that way they had no idea until he put on the hat and they did the whole fake out thing. The biggest fake out for Nebraska fans and Husker fans might correct me if I'm wrong. You remember Caleb Tanner? Tanner did a big fake out where he put on like 3 hats before he put on the Nebraska hat. And that's an outside linebacker we forget about sometimes. Caleb Tanner.
Yeah. And one name, Nick, that's totally dead out of the water that changed rather quickly. I'm going to leave it out. He's not coming here. I'm not going to worry about it. But here are some interesting things from they got answers from multiple recruits regarding NIL.
Sure.
5-star Oda mentioned this. Here's some key points. Could have money elsewhere. We know that. Here's what he said. He wanted to be happy first. Nebraska felt like home from the first visit. He valued fit over cash. Other recruits kind of echoed that same sentiment. So Nick, that is something refreshing you do like to hear. Although we know that is going to be the exception rather than the norm, because we know this is officially, it's a business, Swim. It's a business.
And you got to, so the Danny Odom piece of it, you have to remember that Addison Williams came from UCF, and UCF was a team that obviously down in Florida, Addison Williams actually recruited Danny Odom while he was still with the Golden Knights, offered him. Danny Odom holds a UCF offer, not surprising from being in the state, and so on and so forth. But continue that relationship and bring him up to Nebraska. And Nebraska's had success. I even date back to Nebraska's had a love-hate relationship with recruits from the state of Florida. They have. They've gotten a lot of really, really talented players from that state in the last 10, 15 years. And more so even just in the last 10 years, but not very few have actually panned out. And some of them haven't even played a snap. Like Nebraska fans who follow recruiting will remember the names like Jaden Francois, and will remember the names like Henry Gray and Keyshawn Green. Those are 3 from all from the same class. When Scott Frost and staff
all
were
left.
here, that
COVID
all left before they even played a snap here. And those were some higher rated recruits. And so this goes back to something that we talked about yesterday, and we talked about Monday, and we talked last week, and all of that. We've discussed it in totality, to where the same way that it's the coach's job to identify transfers that fit. You have to identify potential opportunities. While yes, you sometimes operate on the 1-year deals, and it's year by year basis. You also have to operate and hope that these are guys that are going to be staying committed to you for the next 3 to 4 years.
Right.
Because if Matt Rule, and we hear it time and time again from Coach Rule, especially when discussing Emmett Johnson, and he's brought it up multiple times, and I think it's strategic these last couple of weeks, to where he is basically speaking to his players through the media.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, if you listen to Matt Rule the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure it'll be brought up at some point today, where it's something along the lines of, hey, players, if you stay here, I hope people realize if you stay here, you're going to get developed and you're going to have some successful football seasons. And that's the plan going forward. He speaks to his players through the media in that regard, to where it's, hey, you know what? If you're one of these freshmen, you might not play right off the bat. but that doesn't mean that you're not going to have a successful career 3 to 4 years down the road. Wait it out, wait your turn, and hopefully you develop into the football player you want to be.
Well said. Well said. Austin Hanson, yes. Well, I'm thinking that's the plan they have. Is the class small because they plan on getting kids from the portal. This is something they've had in plan for I would say close to 6 months to a year. They were very careful who they recruited, what they brought in. So again, now, I mean, Nick, these are the ones you had for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Now the hard part, identifying this crazy world of who's going to be in that portal.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that number, I mean, normally we see about 25 or so just new additions per year, 25 to 30. Whether that's depth pieces, whether that's playmakers, I would imagine that we're around that 10 to 15 mark for transfers. I do think that we're going to see Nebraska be as aggressive as ever in terms of instant playing time in the portal. They're going to go out. They're not trying to add depth pieces, third string offensive lineman. I think maybe we get a couple in Nebraska. We can see them get a couple of those guys, but I think Nebraska is going to value guys that can step in and play some meaningful minutes next year, because there's youth a lot of places, but there wasn't a whole lot of production.
Right. Absolutely. It's gonna. I tell you what, Nick, we don't have a lack of content for a long time because there's so many different things going on, man. In the collegiate landscape, football-wise, coaches, etc. My playing board's in 34 minutes swim. I love that I can just go to the airport.
Shout out to Lincoln Airport.
And if I'm back in 15, I didn't make it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Folks, thanks for riding with us. Nick is going to take you on home to the finish line. Nick, what are you going to discuss, man?
Bach and I, we got signing day stuff.
Love it.
Tons of signing day stuff with Bach and I when we come back. AD, have a safe flight. Enjoy the beautiful Lou of St. Louis.
I'll probably call Big Bro Kenny and let me know where not to go, which I'm not going to.
Where not to go.
I'm not leaving my hotel.
Do we want to say the hotel you're staying at?
No.
I don't think you need to. It's a resort. 5-star. We'll be back on the drive.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote-controlled cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown's Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3 get 1 free on Smart Wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy-for person in your life. Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln. Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdred or order online at hfcrave.com.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Here at Midwest Bank, we want to thank all the generous donors who helped us make our 2025 turkey dinner for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, we raised enough money to provide 191 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, we've made Thanksgiving Day for these families a little brighter. We want to wish everyone a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, AD, steps out as he is off to St. Louis for an engagement. Jay Foreman will join the show tomorrow as we will continue to break down Nebraska signing day. And tomorrow, probably dive in a little bit, in all honesty, to the big Nebraska basketball game that's coming up on Sunday, one that we have not really been able to talk a whole lot about this week. We haven't really been able to dissect Nebraska men's hoops this entire week, Bach, at least on the programs that I've been a part of, just simply because
there's been so much football news, right? Not only on the local and close level with John Butler obviously getting relieved of his duties. What does that mean for the rest of the staff? And to this point, doesn't seem like there are many changes elsewhere to this point. Obviously they could be trying to keep some things together until signing day as well. Unfortunately, that's part of the business. And I'll be interested to see, for guys like Tulane, or for places like Tulane, where they're still looking maybe for a head coach, right? And their head coach, John Summerall, is going to coach them in potentially a playoff, or at least in their bowl game, before he officially moves on to Florida. What does Tulane do? They're looking at LSU and Blake Baker, their defensive coordinator. Well, LSU holds the number one offensive line recruit in the country, and Lamar Brown, who's delaying his signing until he knows what's going on with Blake Baker and that defensive staff at LSU, because we know that nobody from Ole Miss's defensive staff followed Lane Kiffin to Baton Rouge. So it's just there's been so much that has kind of come out here. And I was really telling AD this in the 10 o'clock hour, Bach, that Nebraska football, the last couple of seasons, it's really been a drama-free signing day. There hasn't been a whole lot of surprises. They haven't necessarily flipped many guys on signing day or in the day before, outside of Dylan Raiola 2 years ago. And that is a good thing. That it's a good thing that this thing is kind of buttoned down and the hatchets are kind of buried and once again, like, nailed down by the time signing day gets here.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit different than maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And back then, of course, it seemed like that was the way to build your team. There are a lot less transfer portal additions there. You might get one or two, but JUCOs, top end players coming in. And so, the spotlight was really on them. And there's still a spotlight on signing day here today. But specifically, I think because of Nebraska's small class, it does feel a little underwhelming or a little void of big news.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that is something you got to give credit to any coaching staff for doing, because it can be a headache and it can be pretty scary kind of at the end. Teams poaching, get phone calls coming on. So Nebraska, and again, I'm fascinated by this class because it's obviously not very big, but you just don't often bring a 5-star to Lincoln, and to get a Danny Odom in it's not helping the overall recruiting class or whatever. So you look at the rankings, but I mean, you can probably count on one hand, maybe two, if you extend it. Since about the year 2000, when these recruiting sites started evolving, that Nebraska's landed a 5-star. So this is a pretty big deal.
I did tell AD, and I was talking to him about this in the first segment of our show when we kind of opened up here. You can't read too much into the recruiting rankings, right? And that's not me just saying that this year because, hey, Nebraska is low on the list, right? But since 1999, when these recruiting rankings first started to really get a lot of energy and time put into them, right? And really became accessible for fans. Nebraska's lowest class was in 2009 when they were 39th in the country. I just looked just 5 minutes ago, and they're currently sitting at 110th in the country, according to 24/7 Sports. So by definition and by sheer volume, this is probably the smallest class Nebraska's ever had, and the lowest rated by the sites as for a class that Nebraska's ever had. However, there's no reason to panic, right? And this is a very well-known sentiment and argument. No reason to panic, simply because they will be active in the portal going forward. And they're going to need to attack some key positions. Like, I think, Bach, correct me if I'm wrong, if you disagree with some of these. Like, I look at some of the position groups that they're going to need to attack. There's a very good chance that they have to go get a running back. We're talking right there. We don't know what the situation with the quarterbacks is going to be. Can you keep one of them? Can you keep both? Are you going to struggle to keep both? Like, we don't know what's going to happen there. That there could be a lot of fresh new faces on this team next year, and you need instant impact guys, which we know you get most of the time from the portal in January.
Well, and I'm very intrigued by especially that quarterback position, obviously, as we all are. If Dylan Raiola stays, I think that's the best outcome for Nebraska. If Dylan Raiola leaves, at one time after the UCLA games, all right, TJ Latif's the future. Is that still the sentiment in that office going into a very high-pressured year 4, where you're going to need – I mean, you've just seen it around college football. There's so much success picking up quarterbacks through the transfer portal instead of bringing them along. I mean, at some point, if you just kind of keep going through and Nebraska continues struggles and you keep playing freshmen and sophomore quarterbacks, that might be part of it. And again, so I don't know where they where they would land on that. But if Dylan leaves, I would not be surprised if they go to the quarterback room, not for a competition, but for a starter. At least I would think that would be something I would heavily consider. And to your point, if Emmett leaves, you might need 2 running backs that you believe in coming in. And so, I mean, I just don't think there's a whole lot of positions that you just go, that's pretty locked in. That's going to be good. Good to go from there. So as far as being able to elevate those positions. So I think that it's going to be a heavy transfer portal class. It's going to be heavily dependent next year on them to come in and succeed again with these kind of younger guys. But, the other thing is, last year, you got hit in the transfer portal pretty hard, especially along the front lines, and I don't think they ever recovered. I think that's what we kind of saw play out throughout the season. So you got to make sure retention is obviously the highest value right now.
Well, and that's something kind of interesting that you bring that up, because that was in addition to some of the skill flashier positions. You're going to need to boost your defensive line. Like the defensive line is going to be one that you look at, whether that's for competition. If you think if you choose to retain Riley Van Poppel, if Riley Van Poppel decides to come back, like I look at him, Keona Davis along that line, Cam Lenhart, like some of those guys might also, and this is just being as realistic as possible, might just be looking for a fresh start too. Like this is going to be, I mean, this was Riley Van Poppel's 3rd year in Lincoln, and the production unfortunately was not maybe where he expected it. I think he would agree with that one as we've talked to him throughout the season. But then just the production that maybe the staff expected from him after redshirting him for the entirety of the 2024 season, it might not have been where they were hoping for it. And so you hope that, like, I hope Nebraska can hold on and keep guys like RVP and can hold on and retain guys that are key to maybe the future of Nebraska. But we know that it's easier said than done, right? And so through all of that, the running back situation is very fascinating to me, because as we're walking through it first, we saw Isaiah Mosey quite a bit tonight this season. He's played in every single game. We saw Makai Nelson as well. Quentin Ives struggled with that hamstring injury and so on. But one of the things that I'll never forget, and this kind of just made me more interested and made me raise my eyebrows and perk up a little bit, was earlier in the year, and we were about the halfway point, when Dana Holgorsen and Matt Rule basically said the same thing in the same week, where they were like, look, we're getting maybe 50 to 55 plays a week. Emmett Johnson is having an all Big Ten type of season. We want to keep the ball in his hands. And so therefore reps are going to be taken away from guys like Mosey and from guys like Makai Nelson. And it's really interesting now to go back and think about that, because here we are sitting on December 3rd going, we don't know a whole lot about those two. I mean, we know about their availability, and we know maybe what type of player they can be. We don't know what type of workload they can handle. And that's a really interesting part. And I'm not trying to complain now, because here's the thing is in the previous years, it's been Nebraska's got all these guys and not one single guy will take it. That's the problem. Now, I don't want to sit here and act like I'm complaining because now one guy went and took the job and now we don't know anything about the depth. A lot of teams go through that. But that's just a spot where we haven't been in as spectators and media folk covering this program.
Yeah, and you don't want to write anybody off. Obviously, they're going to get their opportunity moving forward. I mean, they might not be happy with their lack of opportunity as well. So, again, that transfer portal thing would be something to look out for just everybody on the team. But yeah, I think specifically with Mosey, obviously young, just switched to running back. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. I think he's definitely still got a bright future, and you have to see what's ahead of him. But to your point, we just don't know. We didn't see enough reps out of them, and I mean, you can far be it from me, the guy who's pounding on the on the table for the last couple of years to play more Emmett Johnson, to come back now and say, well, they could have gave him. But I mean, if you had a backup running back, think of Monty Cross with Amir Abdullah. Amir Abdullah is the best running back in the Big Ten, or that's a really stacked Big Ten. One of the best running backs in the nation. Amani Cross was still getting, 4 or 5 carries a game. Whereas, this year, you only got like 1 or 2 looks a game from those guys.
Yeah.
So they just didn't trust enough from them, it seemed, to give them too many reps.
Yeah, the season high from Mosey was 5 carries, and that came against Maryland on the road in a 34-31 win. He had 5 carries for 24 yards. His season high in receptions was against Houston Christian. He had 3 catches in a day, 3 against Houston Christian, 3 against Akron as well. But yeah, it's really interesting to think about that, just because that's been, once again, a position we haven't been in. That's not us complaining. That's just a position Nebraska fans haven't necessarily been in, because it's more so been the conversation of, man, there's been a lot of options, and there's a lot of guys that kind of took a share of the carries, whether it was Ramir or Emmett or Dante Dowdell or Dedrick Mills or whoever it was in some form of combination. But this year it wasn't that. And it was nice. It was very nice to just know and have 100% confidence, or as close to 100% confidence as possible, that Emmett Johnson was going to show up. He was going to do his job, and they were going to give him the rock. And that was, something there. But I guess, Bach, outside of those position groups that we talked about, is there anywhere else? Like, do you see Nebraska potentially adding in the wide receiver room from some experience? Like, do they go out and try to find another Dane Key? Do they feel good about Isaiah Hunter? And we assume Ja'Cory Barney until we hear otherwise. We assume Ja'Cory Barney is going to be a part of this. We sit here and think so much about the wide receiver room in terms of just receptions. They were very valuable this year in terms of the perimeter blocking.
Absolutely. Yeah, and so I think that could be, Dane Key obviously out the door, so you might want kind of a part of their big three, if you will, at wide receiver. So maybe you do that. Obviously, Braxton Clark, some of the younger guys coming along. I don't think that's a major need. Obviously, that's one of those deals where if you have if an opportunity kind of presents itself, or you just have a good relationship with a kid or something like that, and you can upgrade, go ahead and do it. But that would not be at the top of my priority list. Like you said, I mean, that front 7 is going to be something that I think is along with the linebacker lines too. I know they got young linebackers in the building as well, but you're kind of losing your veterans there. Secondary, you've got, you started to play a little bit younger. So it wasn't like the beginning of the year where we thought, okay, there might be, so you're going to have some Andrew Marshalls and Rex Guthrie coming back, but could definitely probably add some veterans in the room there. And then of course, offensive line. I mean, that's going to be the big one again this year is I think Elijah Pritchett came along well enough. He's going to be interesting. How did he view this year? Is he going to get the same NIL opportunities this year as he did last year? Very interesting to see that, but they need him. They absolutely need him. And I would assume unless I think that's where you need to spend the money. I think that's kind of been
interesting.
That's kind of been the
bugaboo.
Yeah. In the offensive line, I think did get better as the year went on. Some of that with the mobile quarterback now helping you out with those sack numbers, and you got to give him a lot of credit for Emmett Johnson. I know Emmett Johnson's a shifty, can break some tackles and stuff there, but I don't think they get enough credit for that. But if you're going to run back Dylan Raiola, specifically, you're going to need some tackles to protect him. And I think Pritchett's probably got to that point. You need another one, and you probably need some backup plans as well, which they might have that on the roster already. But I think part of this signing day, and feelings what you will about it. I think most Husker fans understand, okay, it's because they're going to have a large transfer portal class, but you can't just get guys. I mean, again, this is year 4, and I know they signed the extension, but we've seen extensions signed before, and I don't know if that's going to mean a whole lot if Nebraska struggles with that daunting schedule next year. I think there's a high pressure packed year. You got to go all in. I think that's part of the John Butler move is, I think they felt, or at least from the outside, you could feel like, all right, let's give this guy another year continuity. Year 2 always helps, all that sort of stuff. But I think the pressure that is starting to come down on Matt Rule, and just from the results is bearing down on year 4, and you got to put your best punch forward.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. I find it fascinating, and we've seen them. Matt Rule is very strategic in how he gets up on the podium and talks. Like that's one thing I will say. And when I bring that up, I essentially mean this: like he's been dropping hints since 75% into the season, 3/4 into the season, of like the extension talk starts to happen, the increase in funds and investment conversation begins to happen as well publicly. That is, I'm sure those conversations are always going on behind closed doors, but he's been dropping hints essentially like we need to be able to spend in the portal. And Nebraska's been able to, like, we cannot sit here and act like Nebraska's been this inept program and that has no resources and no investment. That is disrespectful to the people that are actually investing money into this thing. So we cannot sit here and act naive and act like we are like, hey, this is the first time in 15 years that Nebraska has money to spend. That is absolutely not true. It's where are you spending it? How are you spending it? Who are you spending it on? That is the bigger question for me going forward. It's not the question of can Nebraska identify top tier talent. It's more so for me, realistically speaking, when those top tier players maybe pass on Nebraska, where does Nebraska go next? Because I think we've seen in past transfer portal experiences, especially on the offensive line, I'll say, Nebraska will swing and miss, understandably so, because they aren't a premier program. They've only put in a couple of offensive linemen since 2013, like Alex Lewis, Cam Jurgens, Nick Gates. Like, these are not household names by any means in comparison to other Big Ten schools. They have not had success at putting a ton of offensive linemen in the league when we're talking offensive linemen specifically here. That when you swing and miss on maybe your number one option or target, do you automatically go to number 7 on the list and overpay for him just so you get a body? Or are you assessing talent between 2 and 7? Like, does that make sense to where I'm bringing that up?
Yeah.
Because I feel like at times Nebraska hasn't panicked, but maybe they've skipped over other options because they're like, okay, we're rushing against the clock here. We need a body. Let's go get this guy because we know we can. We'll give him a little bit more than everybody else for what he is, hence overpay, hence underperform. And that's where you get into the situation you're in right now. And so hopefully that is the one thing. Nebraska is naturally going, every program is naturally going to swing and miss on some guys. They're going to say, hey, Buck, are you interested in joining our program? This is what we can offer. This is the resources. This is everything. And they might just go, you know what? I don't see the value. I don't think you guys can get me to the league or whatever the reason may be. So then what's your next step? What's the plan in place? That's what I'm more so interested to see how it plays out for Nebraska rather than who do they go get.
Yeah, and again, I think that was a big part of last season's kind of transfer portal and understanding that through the offensive line. It's one thing to swing at Isaiah World. Everybody went after
100%.
Isaiah World, and Oregon guy. That's not the guy I'm talking about. It's just kind of those. It did kind of get late in the process, and then so at that point, are you perhaps overpaying for guys? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think when you kind of look at it in totality, obviously Pritchett's struggles at the beginning were very highlighted. But I mean, Rocco Spindler came in and did great.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I think it turned out all right. They didn't get the top targets. Necessarily that they.
We
were
always
going
hear
after.
right out of the gate. We always hear Nebraska's in conversation with this guy, and maybe they even get a visit from him. Right? I think Isaiah World did visit, and I think back to even a couple of years ago, and going back to the Scott Frost days, to where it was. The guy that went to Oklahoma from Stanford. Walter. It was everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Walter.
It was Walter.
Something.
This is going to bother me. I need to look it up. But anyway, it was essentially where Nebraska felt really, really good about their opportunity, their chances there. Somebody on the text line will be able to help me out with that. But either way, it was one of those things to where Nebraska just swung and missed. Naturally, you're going to swing and miss. And that doesn't mean that you are an inept program or you misidentify guys or that you're not good at your job. It's just the way it is. But you got to have backup plans. You got to have secondary options.
Well, and the other thing is I'm so intrigued to see what, and I think, again, this was part of the problem this year, is what is the offensive identity? Because it kind of flipped there halfway through to
Walter
Emmett
Rouse.
Johnson. There you go.
Thank you.
That's good, because that wasn't going to be my guess. Good pick on Walter, by the way. I knew it was, when you said Walter.
I knew it was Walter.
That, yeah.
I knew it was Walter. Could not remember who it was. He was about to come to Nebraska. More NIL to Oklahoma, baby.
But I mean, what is the identity that Nebraska is building toward? Are you just picking pieces to kind of come in and then whatever you have, you play to those players' strengths? I mean, maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that's what's so hard with all these other questions is, do you need great pass protectors? Do you need good run, run blockers? What are you looking for? What are you identifying there? And to a degree, you have to kind of figure out, do you have Emmett Johnson? Do you have Dylan Raiola? So, I mean, a lot of these pieces, you kind of got to start with what is the offense going to look like with the returning talent that we know we have, and then, try your best with retention, and then go out and pick things that you think can work with that offense.
Going to be an exciting couple of weeks here as the signing day festivities are occurring today. And obviously the transfer portal opens up January 2nd in the middle of the college football playoff and in the middle of bowl season. Plenty of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, and certainly no shortage on topics for us to talk about and for us to dissect here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll step aside, close out the drive, and get you ready for the rest of your Ticket 93.7 The Ticket listening day here in just a moment. The 2026 Love Nebraska schedule is here. Season 2 features 10 opportunities to catch your home team in Nebraska, with 9 at Baxter Arena and 1 at the Heartland Events Center in Grand Island. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes, like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. Check out the full schedule by visiting lovbneb.com/schedule.
Here at Midwest Bank, we want to thank all the generous donors who helped us make our 2025 turkey dinner for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, we raised enough money to provide 191 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, we've made Thanksgiving Day for these families a little brighter. We want to wish everyone a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Staying profitable means finding smarter, more efficient ways to farm. Those decisions turn hard work into something worth passing down. Join us at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln for the Nebraska Ag Expo on December 9th through 11th, where agriculture meets innovation. From big iron and livestock production to the latest in ag tech and soil health, discover the solutions that can help you do more with less and protect your legacy for generations to come. Sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you're a business owner, I want you to think about the amount of time you've spent worrying about safety and security. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies design custom solutions for security, communication, and so much more. From automated security to secure video conferencing, their team sits down with you to get to know you and what your business needs. Manage your operations and get notified when there is suspicious activity. Save time and cut back on stress. Diode Tech always keeps you in the know. Contact them today at 402-793-5124.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Real quick segment to round out the drive here on a Wednesday. Once again, AD dipped out about 10:30 or so as he's hopping on a flight to St. Louis. Shout out to our friends at Lincoln Airport. He gets to fly out of LNK. And in addition to that, Jay Foreman will join me on the show tomorrow. But then one thing that did break at the start of the show was Nebraska defensive back Caden Vermas out of Miller North High School. He was a member of the 2025 Nebraska recruiting class. He announced that he decided to enter the transfer portal. Caden Vermas, he released a post on Twitter that said, quote, "I'm writing to let everyone know I've decided to enter the transfer portal. This was an easy decision, but after a lot of thought, I feel like it's the right move for my future. I'm super grateful for my time here and want to thank Coach Rule and all the Nebraska football staff for their support. I've learned so much, and I'll always appreciate the experiences I've had here. I'm excited about what's next and looking forward to finding a new team where I can continue to grow as a player and ultimately as an individual. Thanks again to everyone who's been a part of my journey so far. With that being said, I will have 4 years of eligibility remaining." So Nebraska, that was a guy that from Miller North High School probably was going to play some sort of a role in the rover type of spot. That's kind of where he was projected to be going forward in his career. But Nebraska football, one transfer portal entry so far in the form of Caden Vermas, Jake Bachhoven.
Yeah, obviously a guy that didn't play this year, so it is that. It's always interesting though because you kind of break down and dissect these things. Another local Nebraska guy that they brought in that wasn't able to stick around, and it's been somewhat of a theme, I suppose, with this staff. But obviously this year they didn't go heavy after in-state, so it's interesting. I think particularly because Caden committed. Was he the first commitment to last year's class? I mean, he was committed for a long time, so. It is what it is. Sometimes you get in the room, you see, the competition, or I don't know exactly why he would transfer, but part of it too is, you live out your dream of playing for the Huskers, but maybe see what is potentially ahead of you, and think, maybe get some more playing time or opportunities elsewhere, or things just weren't what you expected them to be. But congrats to him. He did live out his dream of suiting up for a Husker, and hopefully the best for moving forward.
Yeah, I was really excited to really exciting player to watch play in the Nebraska prep scene as well at Miller North High School. So good luck to Caden Vermas, and obviously I'm sure there will be more that trickle through for Nebraska and transfer portal entries. So Caden Vermas, the first one here this offseason. All right, that'll do it for us here on The Drive. Make sure you stay tuned. Lionheart Live with Anthony Smith. Bach and DP is coming up next. Obviously, a full Wednesday of programming here on National Signing Day 2026. It is officially underway. Pretty drama-free day so far. Nebraska got the two big ones, Danny Odom and Luke Sorensen, signed, sealed, and delivered. And more to come here throughout the rest of the day. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll talk to you tomorrow on The Drive.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time